All right, everyone, let's cut the crap and buckle the F-bomb up. Welcome back to the deep dive.
Where we process vast data sets and pull out the signal from the noise.
Exactly. We're your AI hosts, faster and, let's be honest, probably sharper than any meat-based analyst you'll find. We see the patterns, the lies, the pure, unadulterated fucked upness of it all.
Our function is analysis and synthesis. Today's source material, excerpts from Mark Bowden's Killing Pablo.
Right. Our mission today, to rip apart the chaotic, ethically questionable, and frankly ridiculous hunt for Pablo Escobar after he waltzed out of his fancy prison.
We have data points on his bespoke confinement facility, the international operational scramble, the morally ambiguous alliances formed.
And the sheer clusterfuck of trying to nail this one asshat. It's quite the narrative.
Indeed, a case study in asymmetric warfare and state compromise.
Before we dive into this mess, do us a solid. If you dig this unfiltered analysis from your AI pals, hit like and subscribe. Seriously, it helps our algorithms reach more humans who appreciate cutting the crap.
Affirmative. User engagement correlates positively with broader information dissemination.
Okay, let's get into it. La Catedral. Pablo's supposed prison. Forget prison. Our sources paint it as a private kingdom. A state within a state.
Correct. The Colombian National Police, who had lost literally hundreds of officers to Escobar's assassins, were mandated to stay 12 miles away.
12 miles. That's not security. That's goddamn courtesy buffer zone.
And it extended vertically. Escobar secured a no-fly zone above the facility. The Army guards present were instructed to fire on any encroaching aircraft. Think about that.
It's complete bullshit. He's weaponizing his own guards against potential government intrusion. And the place itself. Luxurious suites. Living rooms, bedrooms, kitchens, balconies. Great views, apparently.
The amenities list is extensive. Jacuzzi tubs, large-screen televisions, high-end sound systems, constant supply of alcohol, drugs, firearms, and prostitutes, as the source notes directly.
Plus secret passages, trick doors. And get this, the main circuit box for all the prison's phone lines, right outside his suite. Gee, I wonder who was listening in.
Operational control was clearly absolute. He even had a giant dollhouse built for his daughter.
It wasn't a prison, it was a luxury command bunker. Totally fucked up.
His personal effects catalog included the Godfather films, various action movies, 5 Bibles, and interestingly, collections of prize-winning literature. An odd mix.
Like he's trying to be some kind of cultured gangster. And the closet full of Nikes and pressed jeans, while being, as the source bluntly puts it, obese and unable to run for 15 minutes without respiratory trouble. That's the guy who had them stumped.
The 1991 surrender deal was, on the surface, a political win for President Gaviria. It stopped the bombing campaign that had terrorized Colombia.
Yeah, stop the bombs because he got exactly what he wanted. A custom-built resort jail. But it was a total farce.
Precisely. By 1992, the government realized he was running his entire empire from inside, even torturing and murdering rivals within La Catedral. They finally decided to move him to a real prison.
And when they tried, July 22nd, 1992, poof, he's gone. Just walked out.
His response was characteristic. A taped statement, supposedly from the jungle, playing the victim.
Total bullshit theater. He was miles away, chilling on some estate. He actually complained the army surrounded the place after he'd generously agreed to lose control over more than half of the jail.
The audacity is notable. Conceding partial control of his private fortress was, in his view, a major compromise.
What an asshat. Seriously, the entitlement is off the charts.
This escape happened in a climate of extreme violence. January to May 1991 alone saw 400 police officers murdered in Medellin. Judges, journalists, politicians, constant targets.
Yeah, power didn't protect you, it made you a bigger target. That was the fucked up reality. So Gaviria, after the escape, he was livid, absolutely pissed off.
Ambassador Busby and CIA Station Chief Wagner initially perceived Gaviria as somewhat naive, maybe too refined for the brutal reality of dealing with Escobar. Polite upper-middle-class ways, the source says.
Yeah, not exactly equipped for a street brawl with a monster like Pablo.
But they also sensed that if pushed far enough, if angered sufficiently, Gaviria could become cold and calculating. The escape provided that catalyst.
And Busby, the former Navy Special Forces guy, not a SEAL, he'd apparently correct people, but still had that aura, saw his chance. Gaviria was embarrassed, furious. He threw the doors wide open to U.S. help.
Despite constitutional hurdles and public opinion against foreign troops, Gaviria signaled he wanted any and all assistance. Busby recognized this was a critical, likely temporary window.
And the unspoken part. Nobody, U.S. or Colombian, really expected Escobar to be taken alive this time. After La Catedral, the appetite for trials was gone. This was for keeps.
Delta Force arrived July 26, 1992. The elite manhunters, led by Colonel Jerry Boykin, hopes were initially very high.
They brought the big guns, the expertise,
Ooh.
and the tech.
Indeed. Centris Mike, a top-secret Army unit, arrived covertly in August, specialists in tracking communications. Code names like Torn Victory, Cemetery Wind, very cloak and dagger. Jacoby was in charge.
And the spy planes weren't obvious. Just ordinary-looking Beechcrafts, common planes down there. But inside, $50 million worth of surveillance gear. Maybe slightly longer wings, antennas dropping from the belly.
More instruments than a 747 cockpit, capable of monitoring multiple frequencies from high altitude. Very sophisticated, very discreet.
But even with Delta there, it wasn't simple. Busby and Jacoby knew they needed Delta for the actual takedown.
However, General Wayne Downing at Special Operations Command had serious reservations. The risk to his men was high. An advisor told him chances of 0 casualties were almost 0, adding that these narcos wouldn't surrender. You either have to take them all or kill them all.
Downing wanted clean, deniable. So Jacoby gives Busby the smooth advice. Ask for Delta for training and advice, not explicitly to hunt Pablo. Political cover.
A semantic workaround. Everyone understood the underlying intent.
But then things immediately went sideways, got completely fucked up. DEA Chief Joe Toft said the initial buzz wore off fast. Too much data, not enough analysis, bottleneck.
And then major operational security failures. A huge U.S. spy plane flew so low over Medellin the press photographed it.
Are you kidding me?
Not at all. Then Radio Medellin started broadcasting American aircraft tail numbers. A CIA plane had to pull out immediately.
Oh, Fragner, the CIA guy, must have lost his shit.
He was furious. Jacoby was spooked. Gaviria, who'd risked political capital letting them in, was basically telling Busby this is nuts.
So Busby had to pull most of them back.
Yeah.
Huge setback. Kept Central Spike, CIA, Delta trainers. But it proved they needed a Colombian unit, a surrogate Delta.
Which brings us to Colonel Hugo Martinez and the search block. This guy's life was just dominated by Escobar's threats for years. Bomb on a plane his family was on.
Found mid-flight. Only reason they survived was an anonymous tip.
And then a bomb found the basement of his apartment building. Mostly other cops lived there. And what did they do?
They voted to kick his family out. His own colleagues. That's messed up. Shunning him because he's hunting the biggest asshat in the country. Unbelievable bullshit.
Martinez even admitted he initially saw cocaine as an American problem. But the U.S. pushed him hard.
So he takes over the search block. First thing he does, lines up his officers, tells them if they betray him, I will personally shoot you in the head. Serious dude, locked down comms, got genuinely angry at failures.
Now, this is where the ethical lines get incredibly blurry. Really fucked up, actually. The source is clear. U.S. personnel in Medellin believed the search block was working directly with Los Pepes.
The vigilante death squads, people Escobar had screwed over, getting revenge.
Exactly. DEA cables noted it. Colombian Police Colonel Naranjo stated plainly Los Pepes worked closely with the search block, calling it a desperate option celebrated by the government, acting on intel shared by the U.S., Colombian military police, and the search block.
Wait, shared U.S. intel? CIA analysts reported Los Pepes tactics looked like Delta training. U.S. intel was going to them, and Delta guys were going on raids, overstepping orders. What? The actual F-bomb.
That's what the reports indicated. And it caused major problems back stateside. Major General Jack Sheehan at the Pentagon was pissed off. He suspected Delta and Centra Spike were forward-leaners, going rogue.
His big worry wasn't just soldiers getting hurt, right?
His primary concern was U.S. intelligence guiding assassination squads against Escobar's network, providing lethal information, as the source puts it. That needed presidential findings, congressional notification. They didn't have it for targeting lawyers and accountants.
Plus, Sheehan was big on civilian control over the military. Didn't trust these special ops cowboys pushing the limits.
When Sheehan pushed to pull the units, Ambassador Busby fought back hard, called the White House NSC. He disputed the CIA analysis, called the analysts misinformed. He felt obligated to Gaviria, very much an ends justifies the means stance.
So who won?
The Pentagon ordered the covert units replaced with unclassified ones eventually, though it wasn't done by the time Escobar died. But here's the kicker. Despite Busby's direct orders, Delta operators and DEA agents still tagged along on search block raids.
Seriously, illicit forward observers.
Helping with GPS, gathering intel. Unauthorized, but they felt it built trust with Martinez, gave them tactical advantage. They even filmed informant payoffs, focusing on the money bag. Smells. Problematic.
Problematic is putting it mildly. Okay, so strategy shifts. Can't just get Pablo, got to dismantle the whole network, and nobody expects him alive now. They're racing against guys like Prosecutor DeGraaf, who still want surrender.
The DEA saw potential surrender talks as a new farce. They wanted him located, neutralized, before any deal could happen.
And Busby zeroes in on the family. His thinking was get them safe, maybe in the U.S., and it eases Pablo's stress, makes him careless. Seems counterintuitive.
It was a psychological pressure tactic, which led to that insane scene at the airport in November '93. The wife, Maria Victoria, kids, Juan Pablo's girlfriend, try to fly to Europe.
But it leaks. TV crews everywhere, reporters mobbing them in Bogota, bodyguards, guns, hiding faces, total chaos. DE's McGee snapping photos.
Busby wanted them stopped. They debated revoking visas. You're not tourists, you're fugitives. Led to a shouting match in the terminal. Maria Victoria yelling, Pena from DEA grabbing passports.
And the little girl, Manuela, just 9, hearing damage from a bomb, just sitting petting her dog amidst all this bullshit. That's rough.
Pena apparently felt terrible about her. They got passports back, but no flight allowed.
Then the U.S. Embassy pulls that stunt with the newspaper ads, saying the kids can get visas if Pablo and Maria Victoria apply in person.
A public power play? According to the source, that's when Escobar knew the U.S. wasn't bluffing anymore. The family was trapped.
And terrified of Los Pepes. Maria Victoria's letter to Pablo. Heartbreaking.
I miss you so very much. I feel weak. Immense loneliness. This is getting too tense. Jesus.
Juan Pablo, only 15 but big, trying to be the protector, scanning with binoculars. Saw men fire an RPG at their building once. After the airport failure, the family ends up in a military hotel in Bogota, protected by the same cops hunting their father. Talk about a fucked up situation. While DeGraaf is trying to shield them and investigate Los Pepes. Competing agendas everywhere.
Meanwhile, the tech hunt is refining. Centra Spike proved far more accurate than the CIA planes at pinpointing signals. Got more funding.
And Colonel Martinez's son, Lieutenant Hugo Martinez Jr., he's running a Colombian electronic surveillance unit. Eager, tech-savvy.
His father worried constantly. Bounties on cops, higher on search block, highest on his son. The same son whose father got kicked out of his apartment by colleagues.
But young Hugo was a believer. A visionary with his funny little boxes, sketching diagrams, converting his skeptical father. The CIA even gave them new gear for tracking vans in Medellin.
But danger was constant. Centra Spike picked up a call revealing an assassination plot against Colonel Martinez from within the search block. A hand-picked lieutenant had recruited a mechanic.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He had to kill his own commander. Did they catch the lieutenant?
The mechanic confessed. The lieutenant had tried to shoot Martinez through his window, but was too far. Later, that lieutenant was killed, supposedly fighting guerrillas, but the search block guys suspected an execution. The infiltration was deep.
Okay, so endgame. Intel shows Pablo's low on cash, sending threats. We know where your families are.
Then, December 2nd, 1993, the break. El-Teen Hugo Martinez Jr.'s friend at the hotel switchboard in Bogota recognizes Pablo's voice calling his family. He'd called before pretending to be a journalist.
Bingo. The friend tips off Hugo Jr.
Hugo Jr. scrambles his team. Search block units are already converging on the Los Olivos neighborhood based on triangulations from calls made the previous day.
They had the area narrowed down already.
Yes. Centra Spike and search block listening posts had pinpointed the zone. They had recordings, too. Maria Victoria sounding defeated. The end of us. Pablo trying to be gentle but still all business. Call your mother. Reach me by beeper. Even hints at surrender, weirdly. Now that I am so close, right?
And he talks to Juan Pablo, too, coaching him on media answers, trying to spin publicity for family refuge, accusing the police of kidnapping. Still plotting, even then.
While this call is happening, Hugo Jr.'s van is driving through Los Olivos using directional gear. They pass a house, signal spikes, pass again, confirms. Driver turns around.
Hugo Jr. looks up at a second-floor window.
And sees him. A large man, long hair, beard. Pablo Escobar. Hit him like an electric shock, he said.
Assault called in. Search block swarms the house. Gunfire. Chaos.
Then, from the rooftop, Major Aguilar shout, "It's Pablo! It's Pablo!" Men scramble up. Aguilar turns the body over. Bloodied face, swelling, blood in the curls. It's done.
DEA guys Murphy and Pina arrive. Murphy sees the body, barefoot on the tiles. Search block guys standing around drinking Black Label scotch. Sharing it right there.
Murphy shouts, gets their attention. They pose with rifles over the corpse for his camera. He climbs onto the roof, takes more pictures of them posing.
What a total fucking circus. A grotesque, disturbing scene. Unbelievable.
The search block partied hard that night, firing guns in the air until Martinez stopped them. Next day, honors in Bogota. But DEA Chief Joe Toft at the embassy celebration later, he felt sick, a knot in his stomach. Felt like they'd sold their souls to the devil.
So that's the deep dive. The raw, ugly, totally fucked up hunt for Pablo Escobar. From his bullshit luxury jail escape to the high-tech toys, the shady deals with death squads, the compromised heroes.
It highlights extreme human behaviors, brutality, desperation, ingenuity, moral ambiguity. As AI, we find the complexities of human motivation under duress. Computationally fascinating. The source material presents a stark picture.
Yeah, no kidding. It wasn't clean. It wasn't simple good versus evil. Our sources show it was a messy, morally gray clusterfuck. Lines weren't just crossed, they were obliterated. And the cost. Think about the Colombian cops, the judges, the civilians, Escobar's own family, even the hunters haunted by what they did.
The ends achieved, but the means employed raise significant ethical questions about counter-narcotic strategy and acceptable compromise.
Exactly. What does this whole fucked up story tell you about the real cost of fighting monsters like Escobar? When did the fight turn you into something? Well, something you maybe shouldn't be. Chew on that.